Yo, you already know who the fuck it is. Asharenu, reporting live from asharenu.com. We in this bitch one last time for the day. Gonna do some more tarot readings. Let's see what's been going on. So we in the house for the third time. So let's see what's up. First card, Queen of Cups, Shaman, Enhancer. So that's the first card of the reading. Getting your shamanism on. Taking those astral and those spiritual flights. Exploring the unknown. So that's going to set the whole mood. That's going to lay the whole foundation for the video. Or in other words, you could say time traveling. If you look in the middle of that, it looks like a portal. So about the time travel. Let's continue on. Four of Cups, opportunity change. So through the use of time traveling, we definitely have the opportunity to not only change our whole perspective of life, but also our way of life, the perspective in our way of life. It's been your life for the past 8 months. You hardly really sleep. You already know. We don't have time for sleep. There truly is no time for sleep. We got to be always working, even when we sleep. Conscious, even when we sleep. We don't have time for that. Just continue on. The Lovers, Twin Soul Reverence. So, time traveling. Shamanism. Opening up portals. Open up portals for what? Opportunity and change. Now what causes this opportunity and change? Merging together the two contrasts. You see that snake at the bottom? You know that's all about death and regeneration. Merging the two opposites together to form one whole. Because that's your true twin flame or twin soul. Is your own shadow. Before we start talking about other people, you gotta integrate your own shadow. Right? We've been talking about this for a while, right? Let's continue forward. What else we got? Three of Coins, imagination ability. Through the integration of the twin soul. The creative and the mathematician. Yeah, we back at it again. Yeah, we putting in that work. You already know. You integrating those two contrasts together. The friction that's generated from merging these two contrasts together, the friction that's generated is giving you the ability to have those creative outbursts. The friction created from merging together two contrasts, two things that are completely opposite, is going to generate those creative sparks within us all. It is only through the pressure or the friction from merging the two opposites together that we are able to spark that true creative ability. And the turn of that serpent, you see? A lot of serpent energy. A lot of serpent energy, a lot of lizard energy. And again, so don't just pay attention to the definitions, also pay attention to the animals, because that's giving you insight into the animal totems. Eight of Swords, trapped, crucified, right? This is similar to the reading that we did earlier, right? Because without that imagination and that creative ability, without the friction from the two contrasts, generating energy, you need to integrate your shadow as well as the light side. They need to be integrated. The friction from that integration is opening up that portal, that bridge to the spirit realm, so you can channel down that energy from the astral plane and have an influence over your physical plane. If you are not going through that process, then of course you're going to be confined. Because if you're just using straight logic, that's not enough. If you're using straight creativity, that's not enough. You need to integrate both aspects, your business mind as well as your creative mind, because just one is not enough to break you out of that mental confinement. You need to have both hemispheres of the brains integrated in order to break free. You need that friction from the right and the left hemispheres of the brain to bust open from the mental captivity, right? It's only possible. You need to integrate all of your strengths to minimize all of your weaknesses. You must integrate all of your strength to minimize all of your weaknesses. Let's continue forward. Six of Coins. Words of power. Absolutely. Absolutely. Gifts, bounty. So we see, once you break out of this motherfucking mental prison, what's waiting for you on the other side? Gifts and bounty. Earthly gifts and bounty. Because remember, we just check out the last videos. All these readings are interconnected. This is giving you even more insight to the readings earlier from the last two videos. You break out of this mental confinement. What's waiting on the other side? Gifts and bounties physically. Alright? If you're able to integrate the right and the left hemispheres of the brain, which will create enough friction for you to break free from this mental captivity, what's waiting for you on the other side is gifts and bounties that were already yours. Mind over matter, right? We were already planting these seeds, mentally getting our mind right. So once we break free from that shell, all these things that we have already created in our mind, we would be able to have access to. Let's continue forward. Wheel of Fortune, cycle, fate. Because now you living in alignment with your destiny, with your fate. Breaking free from that mental captivity, you were able to manifest your true purpose in life, your fate, your destiny, to go beyond the cycles of time. Because we were talking about time traveling, right? Opening up those portals so that you can time travel. Now we're going beyond the cycles of time, right? Cycles and fate. Now we're talking about destiny. We're talking about your higher purpose, right? Or your higher self, or your holy guardian angel. Having spiritual communication with all aspects of yourself. Because we are multi-dimensional beings. So this is opening you up to your multi-dimensional universe, or your multi-dimensional existence. So now you have awareness of all levels of existence instead of just the physical. Because now that you have broken out of the mental captivity, those gifts and bounties are your spiritual abilities, which allow you to live in accordance to your faith, your destiny, and your purpose, your higher self. Because now you are a multi-dimensional being. You are aware of your multi-dimensional nature. Let's keep going. Judgment, awaken, metamorphosis, the spiritual doors, right? So you being aware of your multi-dimensional existence opening up or closes the doors of death and opens up the doors of life, because now we don't die. This is gateways into immortality, because now that you can preserve your mind beyond life and death. You are aware of your multi-dimensional existence. Now this is opening up the doors to immortality. Like, yo, I have no beginning or ending. There is no such thing as death. So what is life? Does life happen after we die in a truly spiritual form, or is this physical reality just an extension of that? And we can make it whatever we want to make it. So once you become aware of your multi-dimensional nature, this opens up the doors of immortality, that you can preserve your memory even after you discard your body. So open up the doors to immortality is a process of alchemy. This is a process of mentally changing your perspective and your way of life. And we'll do one more card. The Four of Swords. Restore, regeneration, or rejuvenate. Right? Once those doors of immortality have been opened, right? Once those doors of immortality have been opened, you can now rejuvenate, restore your soul power. Right? That. So let me let the thing. Okay, cool, that's good. Once the doors of immortality has been opened, your soul can now restore and rejuvenate itself. Right? Because that's truly all what we're trying to do here. We're trying to manifest our souls through physical expression. That's what hip-hop is. That's what art is. That's what culture is, etc., etc., etc. So your soul can fully restore and rejuvenate itself through this physical experience. This physical vessel can be used as a gateway or a portal to express your soul, which exists on a different realm. Your soul isn't physical. Your soul exists on another realm in our multi-dimensional universe. So once you have that direct connection, once you have established that portal, open up that portal so that your soul can use your body as a vessel. Your soul can now restore and rejuvenate itself, and you can live according to your bliss. Do what makes you happy, and what makes you happy and what you enjoy doing can start to generate you income so that you can support yourself and continue to manifest your soul. All right, there we go. So we just whipping up some shit real quick. We whipping it up. So you already know what it is. It's easy. So having your spiritual eye, your spiritual insight open gives you the ability to see deeper into existence. You no longer look at time as a linear concept. It becomes holistic. Now you are integrating all aspects of your soul to the physical experience because we understand our multi-dimensional levels. The feed keeps skipping. Hold on. What about now? Again, of course, technology isn't perfect, unfortunately, right? So technology isn't perfect, so we got to work with what we got for now. So y'all let me know if the feed is good. Am I coming through clear? Is there any type of resistance? Y'all let me know so we can fix this problem. How do you stay? Hold on. All right, it's good. All right, cool. How do you stay spiritually connected while on medication? It's clear. Yeah, okay. So I guess it's clear for some people. It may be unclear, and it may not be nobody's fault. It may not be my fault. It just may be the phone connections. It may be the phone towers in your particular city. Or again, it may be coming from my end, anybody's end. Again, technology isn't perfect. signal isn't always the greatest, so we just got to work with what we got. But to answer the question, how do you stay spiritually connected while on medication? If the spirituality is a way of life, your medication don't stop your way of life. So don't look at being connected as something you are doing. It's something that you are. You are always spiritually connected. Now, your channels may get clogged up and blocked. That's possible, but you are always spiritually connected. Medication doesn't detach you from the spiritual reality. It may cause you to go other places and do other things, but you, as long as your willpower is strong enough to supersede that, you will be just fine. So you just got to activate your willpower to supersede the medication. Mind over matter. It's always going to boil down to mind over matter. You have to supersede your medication using your willpower. If you can supersede your medication using your willpower, then you deserve to have the spiritual connection. You glad I'm back on again? We already know. So we back in this bitch for the third time today. You know? We just outrunning motherfuckers. That's all it is. We just overlapping motherfuckers. You know what I mean? Some people only put out one video in a whole week, so we can do 3 a day, 2 a day, or even 1 a day. You know what I mean? 10 videos. They put out 1, I put out 10. They put out 2, I put out 15. They put out 3, I put out 20. You know? We just outpacing motherfuckers. That's all. That's all we doing. Because if you truly connected, why not touch down every day? Why only touch down once a week? Especially if we're in the age of anybody can instantly get on YouTube and, you know, document their progress. There's no reason why anybody shouldn't show up every single day. Now, of course, there are people that, you know, have high quality cameras and, you know, do all type of editing and visual art. So, you know, it takes time to make those particular type of videos. I understand that. But we understand that there's different ways to make videos. There's different ways to speak truth. You don't always have to come at your most high caliber. Because I understand as a creator, from a creative perspective, when I was trying to perfect every single video, make every video perfect, it slowed down my creativity because I'm spending so much time on one video that is completely unnecessary when I can just be putting this shit out. I'm just spending too much time on one project. So if you're taking a week to just get one thing out, then, you know, that's how the spiritual process slow down. Like if we really in tune, we in tune every day. We're not just in tune once a week, once a month. We in tune every single day. Especially if you consider yourself a teacher, you consider yourself a metaphysician, you consider yourself an occultist. You know what I mean? We tapped in every day. There is no days off. There is no breaks. Because you're not looking for no handout. Nobody's going to help you do anything. You know that 100% of the work has to be put in by you, for you. And in the midst of you putting in the work by your own power, for yourself, then you may help other people along the path. But that isn't the point. Again, everybody's trying to be humanitarians. What's up, Tanner? What do I think about prayer as a non-religious person? Prayer is good. You know, prayer is the same thing as, you know, chanting mantras and all that, affirmations. Write your own prayer. Write your own prayer and repeat it over and over again. You can create your own mantras. So nothing wrong with that. It's just repetition. You programming your mind using repetition. So that's what it is. So long as you keep up that practice of repeating the prayer over and over and over again until you know it by heart and you can instantly tap into it, that's the point. You should be doing something like that. You know what I mean? So prayer is good in the if you put it in the proper context. So, you know, we coming every day because we're supposed to come every day. You know, that's what it is. We have to show up every single day. You got to take your ass to work every day, right? You got to be a parent every day, right? You got to wash your ass every day, right? So why we can't drop the information every day? But when you trying to, you know, when your mission is money motivated, then you're not going to do that. Trust me. Trust me, you're not gonna give out so much free information when you feel like people should pay for it. You're like, no, I gotta put a cap on it because I want people to pay for it. So it just depends on the perspective. If you tuned in, you should be able to drop daily, and the only reason you're not dropping daily is because you feel like you're trying to get something else out of it. Because trust me, the people need the information. Where else are you going to get the information? Like, if you're not hearing it from me, or you're not hearing it from yourself, or you're not hearing it from somebody else, and putting in your own work, there's no other way to get it. I'm just a manifestation of somebody who's putting in work. I'm not even the highest caliber. I'm just putting in work. So I'm just showing you the road. I'm showing you the process. Then you skyrocket on your own, and you manifest your own destiny. I'm just showing you the process. I'm just here like the middleman. I'm just the medium. To help, you know what I mean, give you your jewels before it sends you out on your flight. Boom, I'm just giving you all your weaponry, all your armor, saying what's cool, what's not, and send you on your way. That's all it is. So we just preparing the soldiers, the spiritual soldiers, and the future warriors out there. We just supplying you with your weaponry and your armor before you go on about your mission. That's all it is. You know, simple shit. You know, at least we can smoke to that, right? So I can finish off this joint from what I lit earlier. Give me 1 second. Let me light this up. It's getting kind of windy. Pretty sure y'all can hear it. Hold on. What's up? What's up? Yeah, so you already know what the fuck it is. All right. So y'all let me know what's up. No more sleepwalking? Exactly. Yeah, fuck going to sleep. Even if you sleep, stay aware in your sleep. You know what I mean? Don't get caught lacking. All right? Don't get caught lacking. That's how motherfuckers feel like, you know, they getting possessed or somebody else has control over their own mind or their destiny, is because they got caught lacking. If you get caught lacking, then, you know, if you're not in charge of your own mind, somebody else will be. That's just as simple as I can put it. If you're not in charge of your own mind, somebody else will be. It's just simple as that. You have to always stay in charge of your own mind. So just because you laying down and you going to sleep don't mean you have to relax your consciousness. You're supposed to use sleep to deepen your consciousness, not to relax your consciousness. Because your brain is still working even when you sleep. Your brain don't shut off because you sleep. Your body is still active doing all type of shit. So if the body don't sleep, your heartbeat don't stop. Your heart keep going. Your brain keep working. All type of shit in your body. Also, all these subconscious signals are still being sent. So the body don't sleep. The mind don't sleep. So what the fuck make you think your consciousness is supposed to go to sleep? That's actually against nature, because what the fuck out here is going to sleep? People may rest. There's a difference between resting and sleeping. You can rest. Resting means you're relaxing your body, but your consciousness is still on fire. So when you go down to rest, you keep your consciousness on fire. That's how you be able to go deeper. So if you ever want to do any type of subconscious work, any type of subconscious program, you have to do it in the dream world by deepening your consciousness. Not relaxing it, you must deepen your consciousness. Luciferian path, what's my thoughts? This left-handed path in general. It's only for a chosen few. Left-hand path ain't for everybody. You know, it's not for everybody. Are there different ways to achieve the same results? Yep. It's the people who are chosen to walk that path. You know? See, everybody's not meant to master the dark. It's not for everybody. Some people choose to stay in the light. Some people choose to stay within the boundaries and limitations of religion. Then some people choose to think abstractly. So all the left-hand path is to think on an abstract level. If we want to break it down. Peace, Queen, what's the deal? What's the deal? So, if you're not afraid to think more abstractly and more universally, more holistically, then the left-hand path is cool. If you're somebody who needs things to be in order and scientific and logical and you don't want to go beyond that realm, then religion is good for you. So, to each his own. Just maximize your strengths, minimize your weaknesses, regardless of whatever path you choose. You know, there is no better or worse, good or bad. It's just simply all about your perception. That's it. Asking your subconscious mind a question before you rest? Sure, you can do that. Just as long as you're doing something. As long as you're doing something, you good. As long as you're doing something, you must do something before you, again, relax, but not sleep. Relax in your body, but keep your conscience on fire. So if you want to keep your conscience on fire by posing a question to your mind before you go to sleep, so be it. Peace. What's up, love and light and love? Sorry about that. So long as your mind is activated, constantly activated before you go to sleep, then you're doing something right. So never allow your consciousness to lack. Never do that. Because again, you're robbing yourself of your dreams when you lack. When you lack, you don't remember your dreams. And when you don't remember your dreams, you're not properly prepared for the next day. Because you're going to miss all of the synchronicities, not being aware of what was going on in the dream world, which is going to give you insight into what's going to happen, you know, in your day or during your day. Is going to activate certain things within you so that you can experience synchronicity. It's going to be hard to do that when you have no idea what was just going on because your consciousness has been lacking for 8 hours. So, you know, you wake up and you pretty much wake up to a whole bunch of randomness. You don't know what's going on. As opposed to if you wake up fully aware of what's going on because you never was lacking. You was aware the whole time. That's the difference. That's the difference. So, no doubt, no doubt. So y'all already know. So that's all the dark side is all about. Just somebody who's willing to think more abstract. It's not about doing anything dangerous or negative or evil to other people. That's just a picture that gets painted about it. Now, yes, there are people who think like that, but that's not what the dark side is. That's not what the left-hand path is. That's a whole nother. It's the same thing. The same way people use religion as a shield to cover up what they're really doing, their true wickedness. People can use Satanism and Luciferianism to do the same thing, to shield what they're really doing. They're using that as a shield to do all type of sinister shit when it has nothing to do with that. But they can use it as a shield. Same thing they do with religion. So, again, people can make it into whatever they wanted to make it into. But what it truly is at its core is just abstract thinking to integrate both hemispheres. That's what it is at the foundation, at the core. Just to then, how do we do that for the subconscious? You can't lack. Just no lacking. That's why I keep telling people, no sleep. Do not lack. If you want to do any type of subconscious work, you can do it in the dream world. Do not rob yourself of your dreams. You must stay on fire consciously. Your consciousness must be on fire even when you lay down to rest. Never sleep. You lay down to rest. You don't lay down to sleep. You lay down to relax your body, but your consciousness is still aware. What about when the elder who is a seer attempts to manipulate you? So if you catch anybody manipulating you, separate yourself immediately. Because, right, everybody isn't honorable. Everybody isn't honorable. Yeah, some people get into this shit just to manipulate people. Because some people are not righteous in their heart, right? So they get into knowing knowledge and get close to people in churches and organizations, just to look at you, just to look at ass and titties and all this stuff. Or for women, vice versa. You got people getting into situations for the wrong reason or for animalistic reasons or primordial reasons. So instead of going out in the streets and being promiscuous, they rather do that in the church and cause drama within the church or drama within the organizations. Instead of taking their bullshit out into the streets, they want to bring the bullshit into the organizations and make everybody look bad. Because once one person is found out to be doing some sinister shit, then it just makes the whole organization look bad, then it falls. That's how most places fall, most situations, most organizations, because it's people that set in place who should not be there because they're not righteous in their heart. Again, they just get the information and just try to take advantage of people when they don't have to do that, when they can just go out into the streets, pay for some pussy, get some pussy, go on about their day. But they don't want to be looked at as somebody who does that, so they would rather go inside of an organization and manipulate people and put on this fake mask instead of going out and buying some pussy. Buying it from the hoes, like they supposed to be giving their money to the hoes. But they want to, it's like they whole shit is fucked up. You see how it fucks up the ecosystem. It fucks up the whole ecosystem when people try to manipulate in that fashion, when they're not who they say they are. When you're not who you say you are, you fuck up the whole ecosystem, or the whole ecosystem, sorry. You fuck up the whole ecosystem. That money's supposed to be going to the hoes, but you put it inside an organization trying to manipulate people, infiltrating the organization, then everything crumbles. When you should have just been spending your money in the streets and, getting pussy the proper way. Or getting dick the proper way, if we're not excluding women. Everybody can get it. But that's just the way it is. So if you find somebody to be manipulating you, you must separate yourself, because how can you trust somebody like that? That destroys trust. And how can you do business with a person you don't trust? You studying vampire magic, absorbing energy from everything, meditating in a crowd of people. Yeah, exactly. That's why I always say take your spiritual work outside so that people can observe you. It's like you are going to be on stage, but that's what you want, because you want people to give you the energy. So instead of trying to manipulate people out of their energy and coming in disguise, you just bring your spiritual work to the outside and allow people to observe you at will. You don't have to force nobody to look at you. Just take your ass outside and do some spiritual work. They're gonna be looking at you. You don't have to use no type of deception. You don't need to tell any lies. Because again, some people are just afraid to be honest. Some people just cannot tell the truth. You don't need to go through all that. Just take your ass outside. Go, where there's a lot of people, and just do your spiritual work and watch how much energy you get. Go out into any busy street, go off to the side, light a candle, set up an altar somewhere, light a candle, and do whatever you would do anyway. And I guarantee everybody walking past is gonna be looking at your spiritual ass like, what the fuck is they doing? Somebody may even ask you, what are you doing? You can explain it to them. This is what I'm doing for this reason, yada yada yada. Either they understand it or they don't. Some people are gonna want to take pictures with you. Some people want to go deeper. See, when you put yourself in that field of chaos, anything can happen. When you just do it within your own household, you limit yourself. Exactly. Free energy. Exactly. You need to place yourself where those electric forces are. You need to place yourself in these vortexes of energy so you can pick up that energy. You know what I mean? I appreciate that. You gotta place yourself in these vortexes of energy so that you can pull the energy freely. Not manipulating people, not deception. Pull the energy freely just by being truthful and being honest. You don't need to lie or deceive anybody. because people are going to be amazed at the truth. And I gave y'all that example. Like, you've been watching my videos, watch my videos on the satanic rites. Watch my video, The Satanic Rites. I told you about the experience I had with the 2 cops. You know what I mean? It's real shit. When you're not afraid to show forth and be honest with what you're doing, then you're going to receive that free energy. But of course, this takes bravery, this takes courage, so everybody ain't willing to do that. That's what makes it even more powerful, because a lot of people want to just do their work in the shadows, which is just fine, because you're tapping into the quantum world, just fine. But for those who can step up their courage and take it a step further, now their rituals will work a lot more faster because they have access to even more energy. It's just like walking around with a symbol on your chest. For all the people that you be seeing walk around with the Batman logo and the Superman logo and whatever, create your own logo and walk around with your own logo. Nobody know what that logo means, but who cares? People are going to be looking at that logo, giving you the energy for whatever the intention of that logo is. So you can walk around any busy city or street with this fucking logo that you created, that you put on a shirt. Then boom, you then gathered all this energy, and didn't even have to do much. See, this is several ways to gather the energy. As long as you gathering this energy, it really don't matter how you go about doing it. Exactly. Yeah, no problem, G. Exactly. See, we already know it. Exactly. Feminine energy, tapping into that magnetism. Exactly. Tapping into that magnetism. You know what I mean? Women do this all the time anyway. They can just stand somewhere and they just draw attention. Like, oh man, easy. Don't have to do a goddamn thing. Stand anywhere. They getting attention. It works every time. You know what I mean? So this is just the same concept, using that magnetism. So there's a time to use your electric energy to direct and to penetrate the forces. Then there's a time to use your magnetism and to gather that energy. It's a process. It's a process of gathering energy and directing energy. Manifesting through emotion is easier through women. Of course. Because women are more emotional. So women are able to achieve peaks in their emotional responses more so than men. It's just like when a woman is having an orgasm, it's like a big event. You know, for dudes, you probably only got one shot. A woman can have multiple orgasms, hit peaks, then swerve down, peaks, swerve down, peaks. She can do that shit 6, 7, 8, 9 times. So if you have enough endurance as a man to keep up with her, hitting them peaks of emotional peaks, that's when you can start directing your intentions and you start manifesting. When she hits those emotional peaks, having those orgasms, she's opening up a portal so that whatever you're directing, if both of y'all are doing it, it's sex magic. It's basically sex magic. If you're directing that energy towards that portal that's now creating that black hole, you can pull that reality down to you. So right, when you hit those peaks of emotions, you know what it is. What does 6653 mean? 3, 6, it means 11. 11 breaks down to 2. It's the energy of the moon. My dad said it was a curse and a blessing because women can rule the world if she knew how to. She does rule the world. Let's not kid ourselves. See, men like to say, yeah, this is a man's world. No, the fuck it isn't. Since when? Since when are men not trying to impress women? When is that not happening? So, we can say it's a man's world all we want, but men are always trying to impress women. It's just, show me where that's not going on, right? Show me a man that don't want some pussy, that don't want a girlfriend, that don't want a wife, that don't want a spiritual partner, right? 88-7. Wars have been fought over pussy. Exactly. So all that, don't worry about all that shit. But we are androgynous beings, right? So it's only a gift and a curse when you don't embody your opposite. As a man, you must embody your feminine energy. I talked about this with the anima and the animus video for those who didn't see it. Going into analytical psychology. The woman must embody their masculine principle. The men must embody their feminine principle. And you need to merge these worlds together. So it can be a gift and a curse, or a gift or a course, just depending on if you can integrate your two masculine and feminine principles together, and they can work effortlessly and create and open up portals so that you can create the reality you want. You need both. You need the masculine, you need the feminine. You need both, and you need to integrate them. Just like the reading was talking about earlier, you need to integrate these energies together. That's how you create. You need the masculine principle, you need the feminine principle. You need the dick, you need the pussy. You need the sperm, you need the egg. You know what I mean? We need both of those energies to create anything. So that's what it is. But we both have these energies. We have masculine and feminine energy within us, regardless of our gender. You got to integrate them. When you can integrate them, as a male, you can be creative. As a woman, you can be warrior-like, or you can have that ambition to go out and make shit happen, to go out and conquer. As a man, you can be creative and receive channels of information and be an oracle, because you already know how to go out and conquer. So the man learns how to tap into his creativity and his imagination, that gains spiritual channels from the ethers, so that he can, activate his imagination and manifest through the physical plane. The woman already having that ability, she learns how to master how to go out and conquer, make shit happen, build something from nothing. So, we have plenty of examples to look for throughout history of people who have embodied these principles. We call these people great people, So, need I say more? Need I say more? Let's see where we at. We good. So before we get out of here, of course, we're going to pop a random verse from the Bible, see what information we can pull. Let's see what we got. All right. Proverbs chapter 15, verse 24. The way of life wends upward for the wise, that he may turn away from the hell below. The way of life wends upward for the wise, that he may turn away from the hell below. The winds upward for the wise, so that he may turn away from the hell below. Right? The hell below is being completely physical without a spiritual existence. That's the equivalent to hell. The equivalent to hell is to have a physical experience with no spirituality attached to it, to be 100% physical. That's basically being the equivalent to an animal. Not that animals are any lower, because we know they have their occult aspects. But, we can be so much more. Again, you can look at this as a literal book of history and not gain anything but historical facts from it, or you can look at it as a book of wisdom, a book of magical spells and charms, and you can use this book to conquer your whole reality. This book holds the secrets to conquering your whole reality, spiritually as well as physically, if you know how to decode the secrets. Because again, let's go to that 24. We know that 24, 2 plus 4 is 6. We know that the number 6 is Venus. We also know that the number 6 represents equality, right? So, in order to have balance, harmony, and equality in one's life, you have to look upward, because wisdom shows you how to look upward, how to look beyond. It's only through wisdom that you realize, like, yo, I have to look beyond this physical plane. That's a wise decision to make. That's not necessarily something that everybody just knows to do. A wise person knows to look beyond the physical, so that you cannot basically keep your consciousness in this hell realm. That's why I keep emphasizing going into the dream world, going into the spirit world, and not lacking in your consciousness at any time, so that you have access to the dream world. so that you can gain that necessary wisdom. Like, yo, I've been gaining so much wisdom since I stopped lacking. I guarantee you stop lacking, you gonna gain some fucking wisdom. When you stop lacking, you will gain wisdom and you start to look beyond this physical plane because you realize how valuable it is. I can't tell you how valuable it is. You have to have the experience yourself. The value has to be presented to the observer to change their perspective of life. We also know 2 and 4, which are the numbers of the moon and Rahu. We was talking about merging the two contrasts together, right? The moon is a lunar energy. Rahu is that ambitious energy. As we say, the two opposites. Rahu is all about ambition, conquering the world. The lunar energy is all about being an oracle. So what we just talked about is embodied within the language of the 24. And we know the 2, the 4, and the 6. The 6 is Venus. Venus is all about, again, harmony, balance, making something beautiful. Making reality beautiful. In order to make reality beautiful, what do? You have to have wisdom so that you can look beyond the physical into the spiritual or into the occult and be able to transfer or transmute or transform that spiritual reality into a physical reality. But you must build your spiritual reality. That just doesn't come because you want it to come. You must build your astral temple. You have to build it. You have to build your spiritual world by your own hands. And only then can it gain weight. The more and more energy you give your astral temple, the more weight the more heavier it becomes because you're giving it more and more energy. So the weight is starting to be heavier, heavier, and heavier until it's in a crystallized form and it manifests physically. But you must build the temple yourself. You must build the original temple. You are the original man and woman. You must construct your astral temple in the astral world and constantly give it energies, so that the weight, subatomic particles becomes particles of matter, and they can exist in the physical plane as crystallized light or crystallized matter. All right? So you can get all that shit from this shit. The book everybody is telling you to throw away that don't make no sense. That's keeping us in a box. But you must unlock the secrets. You must unlock the puzzles. Right? The eyes of Jesus. You definitely have to have the eyes of Jesus. Jesus had those clairvoyant eyes. You have to have the eyes of Jesus. Exactly. The eyes of the seer. The eyes of the shaman. To be clairvoyant. Right? That's what I'm saying. You know what I mean? So we combine the Bible, which is complete opposites, right? This is like some complete pagan shit, and this is like some religious shit. These shouldn't even go together, right? These shouldn't even go together, but we merging these opposites, two contrasts. This don't have nothing to do with this until we make them shits work. How do you get the clairvoyant eyes? Stop lacking. Stop lacking. Do not allow your consciousness to lack. You must stay on fire consciously. Keep thoughts on your mind. Never sleep. You rest, but you never sleep. That is the first step to activating, because you're going to start to see more of the dream world and understand the dynamics of the dream world, and to build up your awareness and your consciousness of the dream world so that you can even construct an astral temple. Before you can construct an astral temple, you must become aware of the astral world and the dynamics and the laws and limitations of the astral world. You must become familiar with the astral world, with the dream world, with the spirit world. You have to become familiar with your environment and learn how to gather your resources and to build your temple. You must learn to gather all your resources. You need to do all this. Everything that you would do physically, you start in the spirit world. But in order to gain access to it, in order to gain access to the spirit world, you cannot be lacking in your conscious. You must be awake at all times. No sleep. You must build up your consciousness and awareness of other dimensions. We are multidimensional beings. In order to have that multidimensional experience, to experience synchronicity, manifestation, law of attraction, universal laws on various levels, you must not lack in your consciousness. Stay up. Military minded. Exactly. You must be. You must be militant in your thinking. You must take your spirituality seriously, even if you have to suffer. You know what I mean? You cannot be afraid to suffer. Remember, the Bible doesn't document the life of Jesus. You just know him as a child, and he comes back at 33. You pretty much, the Bible just speak about the last year of his life. Where did he get this knowledge from? Where did Jesus get his knowledge from? What was his upbringing like? What was his teenage years like? What was his early adult life like? We just know what the fuck was happening at 33. What the fuck was happening at 23? What the fuck was happening at 13? Like a big ass chunk of his life. Nobody even know. Why would they remove the most crucial shit? You know, as young people, we like, yo, we want to know what the fuck he went through to get that fucking knowledge. Why isn't that information in there? We don't know what the fuck he did. You have to go outside the Bible to figure out what really went on. But you really don't. If you look at it as an alchemical book, you see that the secrets is still encoded within the Bible if you can decode it. So what he did in his youth can be decoded if you have the Jesus eyes. You can discover it in there. But if you want a more historical reference, then you have to seek outside the Bible. But those stories are not in there. That means you have to apply your wisdom in order to gain that wisdom from the story, even though it's not being told to you in a literal sense. You must use your clairvoyant eyes, your Jesus eyes, to decode that alchemical reality from lead to gold in your consciousness. A lead mind is a lacking mind. A gold mind is a awakened mind, awakened to all realities. You are awake to all realities, not just the physical, not just one. Lead is basically just being aware of survival. The only thing you know how to do is survive in the physical plane. You don't know how to do anything else. That's a lead consciousness. The gold consciousness, you are aware of all realities. You are aware of all of your bodies, your physical body, your etheric body, your mental body, your emotional body, or basically every section of your aura. You know what I mean? So we can put this in whatever type of way we want to put it. But this is what it is. You just cannot be lacking in your spirituality. There's no lacking. And if you lack, you're not going to see results. So you can lack all you want, but you won't get results. But if you're really trying to have those Jesus eyes, Jesus wasn't lacking. You know? So we're just using the proper context. Jesus wasn't lacking. See, that Jesus is a whole different vibration than Jesus. Trust me. Whole different vibration. So I'm giving you that original frequency. This is what, we going back to the Latin. The Bible was written in Latin before it was written in English. So before they were saying Jesus, they were saying Jesus. Just imagine the preacher saying Jesus. Imagine the Bible being read in Latin. How many people have listened to the Bible? You probably can't read the Bible in Latin, but how many people have listened to the Bible in the original tongue? How many people have heard the Bible being recited in Hebrew, in Latin? Because those are still frequencies. You may not understand it, but it's still frequencies going through your mind. It still has an effect on your subconscious mind. But, just throwing a little tidbits out there. Isn't Aramaic the original tongue? Any language before English, whether you're Aramaic, Hebrew, Latin, any one of those tongues, the same thing like with Muslims. Muslims read the Quran in Arabic, even though of course you have the English translations. But when Muslims make prayer, they make their prayers in Arabic. They don't make their prayers in English. They make their prayers in Arabic, the original tongue of the Quran. So it is on a completely different frequency because you're basically learning Arabic to even pray. You have to learn Arabic. So that's that. So that's why I mean, like the Islamic culture is completely different than the Christian culture. Again, it's not about good or bad, better or worse. But it's just this is why they do that. Because we're dealing with that lunar science. The Islam or the crescent moon is all about the subconscious. And they understand in order to infiltrate the subconscious, we have to speak in the original tongue. They have preserved that knowledge. But you know, again, how many people was listening to the Bible in Latin, in Hebrew, in Aramaic? You know, just throwing out some tidbits. But we're going to get out of here in a little bit. Going to make this an hour. We'll be on here 5 more minutes. You know, so this is just some random talk. You know, we just kicking it. We just kicking it. We just letting the chaos flow into order. We just making the chaos orderly. This order chaos is being kicked. So again, if you already didn't know, definitely check out the website. Check out all the links in the description. We already know how we're going. Definitely new articles on the website every Sunday. Sign up for the newsletter. Sign up for the newsletter. The newsletter articles every Sunday. There we go. We said that right. Based on your journey thus far, what's your experiences revealed to you in the mysteries of death? There is no death. There is no death. All it is immortality. Where are we going? We're not going anywhere but where we already was and who we already are. There is no beginning. There is no ending. There is no place to go. It's just levels of consciousness. We're just going through random chambers, not random chambers. We're going through chambers, or we're going through the labyrinth of life. Just to realize, like, yo, I'm just having fun. My soul is ageless. There's an aspect of us that is ageless. There's an aspect of us that is immortal. And the more and more you manifest this immortal consciousness or this knowing of who you really are, you start to act on that knowing of immortality. If you knew that you couldn't die, how would you conduct yourself? If you knew that death was an illusion, death doesn't exist as we think. So what? That, you know, death is sad and we got to go to funerals. Are we done with reincarnation? The choice is yours. If you develop your immortal consciousness, you can be. But if you don't, you know, you're going to keep having to repeat this shit. Because most people die not knowing if they're going to go to heaven or hell. So most people die uncomfortable. They don't know if they did enough. So most people want another chance. Trust me. You be on your deathbed and you not know if you did enough to get into heaven. You're going to want a second chance too. Trust me. So most people want second chances so they get over and over and over again. But you have in your mind on the level of an immortal that you are already on a soul level. Then once you die, you can go into your soul because you have cultivated this relationship with your soul. So when you die, you just go to your astral temple. Your home that you have built for yourself in the astral plane and the spiritual plane within your soul, you go to this place that you have built for yourself. But if you have not built no astral home for yourself, then you have to come back into this world because you don't have anywhere to go. You didn't build a home for yourself. So again, we're gathering all this knowledge, all this information, all this wisdom so that we can build our astral temple so we can have a place to go when we drop the body and when we transform into greater things. So all it is just states of consciousness being in your immortal mind. Because again, this is what we already are. This isn't something that we're trying to become. This is what we already are. So we're just becoming aware of what's already going on. But in order to become aware of what's already going on, you must not lack in your spirituality to become aware of the truth. We're just becoming more and more aware of the truth. This is not something that some people are and other people are not. This is everybody's truth, but everybody doesn't have a realization of their own truth. If you have a realization of your own truth, then you can see further beyond the cycles of life and death, and you can live accordingly to that wisdom. That's all it is. So, and living accordingly to that wisdom is manifesting out of nothing. The law of attraction, manifestation. You live your life according to spirit, not according to physical responses and reaction. According to spirit, you always plant your seeds or your thought streams into the spirit and allow them to flourish in the physical realm as crystallized light. That's just the way shit works, regardless of whether we like it or not. How can you become wealthy? You must figure out what gift you have to give to the world. If you want to become wealthy, you have to give that same amount to the world. The same amount you trying to get back, you trying to make $1 billion, well, you have to give $1 billion worth of soul work to the people. You have to give a service to the people that's worth $1 billion. Do you have $1 billion idea? Do you have $1 billion service? that you're waiting to manifest? Because trust me, there will be investors. If you have the idea, there will be people to invest in that idea if they see that it makes sense. If it's sound and it makes sense. If you have the ability to cultivate an idea that's worth $1 billion, people will invest in that idea, and that idea could be materialized. But you have to have that $1 billion idea. In order to have that $1 billion idea, you must construct your astral temple so that you can have a spiritual connection with things beyond the cycles of time. You're not going to be able to look within the cycles of time and become a billionaire, especially if you're coming from a creator standpoint. See, there's those who's very logical people, very mathematical people, very technical people that become billionaires and millionaires. But then there's creative people who become millionaires and billionaires. If you're coming from the creative standpoint where you're not trying to, do things completely mathematical, you're activating your sorcery instead of activating your mathematics. And again, they're one and the same, but if you can merge the two together, then the way you come into wealth is going to be different than somebody else. So how Bill Gates did it or Warren Buffett did it, you're going to have to do it in your own way based on you being a creative individual. You have to do it in your own way by constructing your astral temple, building up that spiritual bridge so you can manifest your soul on an immortal level. Make sense? So, hopefully it does. Do you think the corporate elite are acting in alignment with spiritual soul force? Yes, they are. They're just doing their job. Their job is to keep the fire on your ass, to keep you locked out of your spiritual realm. That is their divine purpose. Why? Because those who have access to it have to earn it. It has to be earned. You know what I mean? You don't get to have this skin tone and say I'm black and I'm proud and I'm better than everybody else because my skin is darker. No, you have to activate your melanin. You don't get to just be in your ego. You got to activate this shit. But some people don't get past the ego. Oh, I'm better than everybody else because I'm black. Okay. Can you activate that dark side, though? Activate that dark side, motherfucker. Show and prove. They're not doing that, trust me. But motherfuckers is ego tripping. Once you erase that ego, you put the ego to sleep. You don't kill it. You just put it to sleep. Put the ego to sleep so that you can penetrate your subconscious mind and truly do your soul work so that you don't have to say anything. It's just known. You know your own truth and nobody else has to repeat it or tell you your own truth. That's the difference. So you go beyond what your ego was saying based on what somebody else was saying who didn't even know the esoteric meaning of what was being said. So hopefully that makes sense. So don't be comfortable because you feel like you're a step ahead or you have something over somebody else. You must put in that work. Put in that work. You know what I mean? Regardless of whatever cards you was dealt, put in that work. Whatever your cards may be, put in that work. Put in that work, and you will see success on levels that are untold. We are the first of our kind. Trust me. There has never been people on the earth like this before. Trust me. And I'm not going to say that. People have always been that. Of course, you had your Tupacs and, young people that made history. But we're able to go beyond. And if you're able to go beyond, then you got to put in that work. 444, trust me. You know what I mean? Who's tough enough to chant that 444 continuously? Because that's the most challenging number of all numbers. All the 10 numbers, 0 all the way to 9, the most challenging number is number 4. And that was a life path of Machiavelli. But just giving some jewels here and there for those who can catch it. But we gonna get up out of here. So once again, check out the website. Check out the links in the description, the Facebook group. Whatever y'all can do. And we'll be right back in this bitch tomorrow. You know what I mean? So hold it down. Like, comment, subscribe. Yeah, you just missed it. We about to get the fuck up out of here. Just hit the playback button and you'll see what the deal was. So we'll be right back at y'all tomorrow. Like, comment, subscribe. Y'all let me know how y'all feeling, what y'all thinking. Hit up the description. Peace, hotep, chaos, destruction, madness, furious chaos, destruction, anarchy, apocalyptic madness. You know, the prismatic hegemony on Facebook. Get at me. Peace, hotep. We out this bitch.